We're on a mission to a place that sounds familiar but is in fact utterly different. It's like England, but rougher, richer, and more republican. We three men are in the far northeastern corner of the United States of America.
Listen, this is new to me because I've never been in this part of America.
No, well, I have a long time ago.
We begin our journey off the coast of the state of Maine, the most northern of the 6 that make up New England. And we're headed south in an 80-year-old schooner, the typical boat of this region.
Why are we here now?
We're here because...
This is what I want to hear.
Come on, you tell us, why are we here now? Go on, tell us.
Because they told us to come here now. We've come here at the most exciting time in Maine's seasonal change, because this is the time when a perfect storm took place. We're
Great.
just in October, we're just heading out.
Of all the films that we may recreate, we're going for the one in which a boat capsizes and everyone's gone.
Yeah. We have an instructions with us, like Charlie's Angels, in this envelope.
A lot of people
tell us what we're supposed to do on this particular...
A lot of people confuse this programme with Charlie's Angels, don't they?
Oh. It says the Statue of Liberty.
That's in New York, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
You read it. Tell me, what does it say in there?
Dear 3 men in a boat, we are led to believe that the 3 of you know a thing or two about boats. Collectively, yes, but if you were to quiz us individually, it's mainly him. And so would like to cordially invite you to join the flotilla of vessels as America celebrates Lady Liberty's 125th birthday. The flotilla will start in the Hudson River and assemble around the statue by 12 noon on Friday, October the 28th, which I make to be
10 days.
10 days' time. 10 days' time. The choice of vessel is up to you. However, this is a very important event for the city of New York and the American people. I'm glad they put that clause in. What do they think they're going to arrive in? Like a clown ship? The doors falling off the sides.
That might be appropriate.
Yeah. So bring a boat. It's a bring a boat party. Fantastic.
So we have to find a boat.
But the decision won't be easy.
All the big boats we could take are all out of water because the season is over. Time is running out.
It's got to do 8 knots and it's got to have a hooter.
So we try to get a grip on America's true core values.
This is Escape from an Ohio Zoo.
We've got the big one in spring line. That'll scare them.
You're getting a kick in the head.
Learn about American history.
The thing about the Plymouth Rock, it hasn't got greetings from Plymouth written all the way through it, which has rather disappointed me.
By wearing the funny hats of the Pilgrim Fathers.
My name is Griffith and this is Mr. Rory McGrath.
Your servant.
Yeah!
Hang on.
And then going native.
Now you want me to get you food on top of that? Okay, sir.
And so make the right choice of vessel.
If Jamiroquai had a boat, this is what it'd be like.
To take part in the biggest, boatiest, most American of American parties that you could ever hope to be invited to.
Well, we don't want to crash the party.
My only fear now is that, you know, we might screw it up by not being able to get a good boat or getting a rubbish-looking boat or making idiots of ourselves.
Dara, you'd like a sort of motorboat of some kind, perhaps?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm
You like powerful motorboats, one kind or another?
Yeah, but whether or not this is the place for it, as opposed to...
You'll be representing the
I
Republic of
feel
Ireland.
something humble, something indicate... I like the idea of people arriving with only the shirts on their backs.
The trip itself will be so exciting. Isn't this fantastic to be here at this time of year as well? No tourists, because there's a sense as you move into the States that you enter a genuine world instead of a tourist world, and it's good that the vacation's over here and we can sort of get to grips with the real America.
And Griff, maybe you should arrive in a coracle.
I don't want to say, obviously it being a sort of Welsh boat, we have to be kind to coracles. They have certain advantages, very light, very easy to carry, but they are intrinsically unstable.
Well, I'm a tiny bit nervous about this trip. I'll tell you why, because, I mean, I spend a lot of my time being very rude about Americans and American culture. Not in public, obviously. I would never, ever say this in public. I can say it to you, because, you know, you're Nick, you're a cameraman, you know me. But I do, and I don't like the influence American has on the English language. So, for example, but now I'm here with them, and it's going to be really exciting to hear what the Americans really think of us British.
What about you, Rory? What sort of boat would you...
What boat sums you up, Rory? A tug. A little tug that could.
I don't know why you say that.
You know,
Do you see me as a tug man?
From Portland, Maine, we're heading south, along a coastline that's big in American history, into Boston, around Plymouth and across to Cape Cod. From there, it's out to Martha's Vineyard and finally up the Long Island Sound into New York City, where a large green statue has stood for the last 125 years. A gift from the French to celebrate American liberty from Britain.
We eventually arrive in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, where we've arranged a lift with David Andrewson, head of the US Coast Guard for this area. David is actually at the 100th anniversary of the statue, and we're hoping that he might have a few ideas for us.
The US Coast Guard is fundamentally different to the one in the UK in that it's a military appointment.
Explain to me this, Griff. Why this very expensive waterproof boaty gear has hoods that you can't keep up.
Haven't you got a thing?
How does your job now divide up between, you know, rescuing tourists or fishermen and the military side of it?
Well, definitely after September 11th, 2001, our mission has gotten a lot more towards law enforcement and homeland security, especially right here in this port. We have a Navy submarine base here.
Yeah.
We also have about 1,000-foot tankers that will come from all over the world.
If I were the skipper of the boat, though, this is where I'd sit nearly all the time.
With your face pressed up against the window?
Pretty much, yeah.
What would you recommend we bring to New York?
Definitely one of these would be pretty good to bring in there. You might have to fuel up a couple times. We don't carry a lot of fuel. I used to be stationed at the station just south of here, Newburyport, Massachusetts. It's in the Merrimack River, and there's a boat shop there. It's about 150 years old, called Lowell's Boat Shop. Now, he might know of somebody possibly who, you know, would be able, you'd be able to take a ride with.
All right, we'll check it out.
How was Chief Dave, Dara?
Chief Dave was lovely. He was really, really nice. And we had a good old chat, and he actually set up the next item.
Has he?
Yeah, he set it up really excellent. You should go to Lowell's shipyard. He's very good with that. Oh, okay, maybe we'll do that then.
And we do take David's advice and visit Lowell's, which is up the Merrimack River, just over the border into Massachusetts.
This is Lowell's Boat Shop. A shop that actually sells boats.
It's the oldest continuously operating boat shop in the States. In American terms, it's nearly prehistoric. And it's the home of the fishing dory.
Graham?
Hello.
Hello, I'm Griff.
Hi, Griff.
Good to
Pleasure
see
meet
you. What a fantastic shop.
Thank you.
So how many boats do you make a year?
Now I only make about 8 or 10.
But 8 or 10, that's just a large number.
That's nothing compared to 2,000 that they used to make.
2,000 a year?
A year. That's 7 a day.
What was the demand for that? Who was buying that huge quantity of boats?
Fishermen. They were fishing dories. So back in 19th century, they'd send a schooner out to sea with a bunch of dories on the deck. They'd put them all over the side, and these guys would go out fishing. And the lifespan of those dories was about 2 years at the most.
Standing in the rain is preferable to listening to Griff talking at some poor boat builder about boat building.
Telling him how to build boats. Telling a man whose family been building boats for
1790.
220 years. Griff is going to spot a flaw.
But these days, you're not making your boat so much for fishermen, but for leisure purposes, are you?
Yeah, most of them are for pleasure purposes, but I actually did make a boat for a lobster fisherman 2 years ago. That just like this, that he fishes out of up in Maine.
And he's like a traditionalist fisherman. He just likes to have a nice...
No, he's actually a pediatric surgeon.
Oh, is he? Okay.
But he does it for fun.
Interesting tensions within New England, though.
Well, the 3 New England states get on quite well. Vermont, New Hampshire and Maine.
Yeah, they're all quite
very
close. They
happy.
regard
They
themselves
like
as
each
locals.
other.
Yeah.
They're locals, yeah.
But they all hate...
Massachusetts.
Yeah. And the best thing we've learned is that the nickname of people from Massachusetts in this part of the world is massholes. It's very pretty.
It's gorgeous. It looks vaguely Scandinavian.
Do you think that? Do you get that?
I think it does, yeah.
No, I don't get that at
Sort
all.
of timber buildings, a lot of water.
You know, I should run with you with that, but no.
A lot of blonde people, yeah. ABBA T-shirts.
You've completely, you've gone there. You've absolutely gone there.
Gloucester is still a good place for boats.
It's one of the finest, I do think. It's still kind of a rough and tumble town, and so it keeps a lot of the higher-end yachty people away.
Does it?
So it's still...
Got a bit of an authentic tang.
Yes, it
Well,
does.
that'll appeal to Rory. That's
Waterloo. The plan isn't for us to row, by the way, isn't it?
I think those boats are going to be too small for the Liberty Parade. It'd be quite amusing. Each of 3 individual people rowing.
Hello, passive
Yes,
viewing
it's
stand.
representing Britain and Ireland.
Hello, mainly representing Sweden.
Yes, Sweden. We've come all the way from the fjords of New Hampshire.
Fjords of Norway.
I'm just ballast now.
Next morning, Graham offers to take us for a poke around the nearby big harbour of Gloucester.
Gloucester has a sad fame as the home port of those boats that were lost in what became known as the perfect storm, which occurred 20 years ago almost to the day.
Are we overdressed for the conditions? It seems to be quite a calm morning. The sea is flat, the visibility is good, and we're dressed in
I think you're fairly safe in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, get into your swimming trunks, Rory.
Yeah, we should. I'll get
It's a little nippy this time of
I'll
year.
get my bikini on and just lie in the front here.
These are dories, guys.
Oh, there they are,
Gloucester
yeah.
fishermen's dories.
The first boats up are these sleek, black and lovely fishing boats.
Big schooner will be lovely as well. The big black
Big schooner would be great, yeah.
Good is good.
Yeah,
We're
we're
in
in the middle of an
yeah,
ongoing debate as to what kind of boat would best represent us or boating or... And also what we can get.
Those are tuna tails, are they?
Oh, right.
On the side of that.
Very good.
And these are actually Irish-owned boats. Mostly, the crews are mostly comprised of Irish.
Right over here.
Yeah. Great guys. Great guys to go out drinking with.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on that.
Of course, not every boat in Gloucester Harbour is to be taken too seriously.
Got a little pirate ship here.
The fake pirate ship.
I don't think like a fake pirate ship.
Derek, what do you think? Fake pirate ship, we all dressed as Captain Pugwash?
Yeah.
Come out there.
Formidable.
We rattle our sabres at the Statue of Liberty. Oh, there's a cannon!
As you were saying, Pirates of the Caribbean. All the kids want to go do pirate stuff now.
Fancy dress pirate ship. That's all right.
Special red in a container with meat right on the side.
After a busy morning on the water, we were hungry for a really delicious lunch.
And a shrimp dinner.
And we thought, let's try an American diner, because that'll be nice and light and healthy, won't it?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
Make it for you.
We'd like a large quantity of food, please. Is that possible?
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you recommend? How's the scallops?
I personally like shrimp better, but scallops are delicious.
Well,
Very good, very good.
okay, well let's go for the shrimp.
So-
A shrimp dinner.
You want the shrimp
I'd
dinner?
like the clams.
Clams?
Clams. And what is a jalapeno popper?
Jalapeno popper. It's a hot
Yeah.
pepper with cheese and bread around it.
Okay, and bread around it.
Bread around it. They fry it.
I want one of those. And they fry it as well. Yeah.
Super beef dinner.
Super beef dinner, what would you like on it? Fries, onion rings, salad, or coleslaw?
Forget the salad
No salad? You want coleslaw?
and chips.
Chips?
Fries.
All right.
Does that sound like a lot? Is it? Okay.
We're all on a very strict diet on this program. Yeah.
Pat, we look forward
Thanks,
to it.
guys. I'll bring it right over, okay?
Thank you. Do we order too much food?
I'm terrified at what I've ordered. No idea what it is. Super roast beef dinner.
That's a full cow. They're going to roll a full cow out here and they roast it on a spit for 14 hours.
But this is like being in What's that film when all these guys hang around a diner?
But nobody ever eats anything when they go to a diner in a movie. They always can't go in there, they only have a cup of coffee because they're having a meeting.
Yeah.
So the huge quantities of food that come off the counter have never made their way into the film.
We're about to buck the trend.
Yeah,
by
it's the
eating
first
an
time
enormous
we've
amount of
consumed food. And
The clam dinner.
Okay.
Wow.
You didn't want the scallops.
I didn't want the scallops, just the clam dinner for me.
Mozzarella sticks.
Oh, they're the jalapeno peppers.
Jalapeno
They're your
poppers.
jalapeno peppers, yeah.
Jalapeno. I
Salad
might have
for
to
the-
have it. Is that a Greek salad?
What's that for? That's the Greek salad,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
comes with the...
He's the Greek salad.
Another Greek salad.
Another Greek salad.
Another dinner. And your
Coleslaw,
coleslaw.
thank you very much. You're very kind of the coleslaw. That's yours, see.
Can I have a jalapeno popper, do you think?
Oh, listen, yeah, here, have some of the coleslaw. Do you think I'm going to do all that?
A super dinner on the onion roll.
Oh, Lord, here you go.
Hang on.
Whoa.
This sauce on the side is barbecue sauce.
Okay, thank you
Try it
very
on the
much
beef.
indeed. Okay, I will.
And the shrimp dinner.
Thank you very much. It's
You're
very
welcome. I
kind.
got
It's
forks and
delicious.
stuff coming.
That's wonderful. You know what else I like? Is the fact it's all brown. How is the super beef roast?
How much beef is in it?
Oh, Jesus.
Some of it's escaping.
Genuinely, okay, it's falling into your coffee. That is insane.
This is escape from an Ohio zoo, this
Thank
roll.
God we're going to spend the afternoon digging roads and fishing, putting out fish traps.
We're doing good. We're doing really. We're making quite the dent. In quite the dent in this stuff.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Got a lot to finish.
Lovely.
Oh Lord. Feeling hot now. Feeling.
Are you going to have a major Sunday after this?
I was a major heart attack.
After such a slap-up feed, we decided we needed a drink. And when you're in Gloucester, you really have to visit the most famous bar in the town, the Crow's Nest.
It was the local bar of the crew of the fishing boat, the Andrea Gale. 20 years ago, she sailed to catch tuna, and she never came back. Mary's brother Bobby was one of the 6 crew, and he was just 30 years old.
This was just a total freakish storm that took everyone by surprise, so I think that's why there was so much hype about it.
But how did your brother come to get out into it then?
He was having some financial difficulties, and he really needed to make some money. And we knew Billy Time very well, my mother and myself, my whole family knew him. And we asked Billy, my mother and I asked Billy to take him fishing.
Oh really? Oh seriously? Oh, so it's just
It's still a place for fishermen to hang out today, and the crew of the giant Irish trawlers we saw earlier seem to have settled in already for the evening.
I noticed a boat with the shamrocks on it. Like that's a proper Irish boat.
It's hard to miss the flags. On the
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Like, but it's not like Irish American. It's not like third generation. That's actually an actual.
It's actually most people involved are from Killybegs.
I know Killybegs, obviously, but Killybegs is a small town.
I don't run down our wee hometown now.
I will not say anything against the place. It's a lovely spot.
Right,
All right.
Meanwhile, Mark, a local lobster fisherman, had been drawn to Rory's big red face.
You are a lobster man?
I'm a fisherman that catches lobsters.
Okay, so that's different. So, okay.
We're all
That's it.
fishermen.
Now, listen, we have just come from a place, you may have heard of it, up the coast called Maine.
Yes.
You know?
The great state of Maine.
You know what I'm going to say now.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go in Maine, it's lobster, lobster, lobster.
They're not quite as sweet as ours.
What was the exact circumstance of it? So they say 3 storms came together and created a
Perfect storm.
terrible conditions.
Yes, and they were basically in the eye of the storm, which I don't know what the chances of that are, actually being in that spot at that time.
You're Massachusetts?
Yep.
Born and bred?
Yes.
Now, this is a silly question to ask. Is there any Irish in your heritage?
Just a bit. Why would you ask?
Well, hey,
Just a
we're
bit.
in Massachusetts. There's a tiny bit in me as well.
I could see that.
How can you see that? You think, I'm drinking a
Might
beer.
have been the porch, the front porch. I've got that too.
We were at the back shore watching the waves. It was an incredible storm. We were all watching it. We always do when there's a storm. We live on the coast. And I remember saying to my husband, do you think Bobby's okay? He said, oh, they're not even near here. They're in Canada right now. They're fine. We didn't know by then the storm had already hit them in Canada. By then, the ship had already gone down, and we didn't know.
How long did the search go on?
7 days. But they didn't start searching until 3 days after, so it was 10 days in total that we just sat there and waited. Everybody knows someone that's lost at sea, and I don't know why we don't worry more. I don't know why, because I guess it's their job, and they go to sea, and we have a safe trip. Yeah. We say to everyone that we know that's going fishing, but you don't think that they won't come back.
The next morning, we relocated to Marblehead down the coast to meet up with yacht Nirvana, who was going to take us south to Boston and then on to Plymouth.
A beautiful day for sailing.
It's a perfect day for sailing,
It's a perfect day for sailing.
And no other boats out?
Nirvana is an 80-foot maxi with an exceptional pedigree, winning virtually every classic ocean regatta for 5 years after she was built in 1982.
As this is the first vessel that could plausibly take us all the way to New York, I decided to explore down below.
This is the galley area. As we travel along, we're clearly at something of an angle at the moment, as you can see. But the one thing to note about the galley area is that it is incredibly plush. Now, normally racing boats, and maxi racing boats like this, are very, very Spartan. It's just a bare bit of it, and they sleep in bunks. But this one, this particular one, as you can see around me, it's plush, it's leather. It's like built for tall people. It's fantastic. Let's have a look at the main, this is ridiculous. Let's have a look at the main bedroom, all right? Boom. Normally, this would be a bunk bed. This is the captain's quarters. Comes with plush bedding area, comes with full-length mirror, comes with lovely view of your crew's legs, but most of all, apart from we get past the sofa area here, ta-da! A bath, which is the most pointless thing, because obviously all the water would run down that end.
And it's little touches like this that charmed its current owner, Charlie, into buying the boat 11 years ago.
And who was the rich man who found the money to build this monster?
It was Marvin Green.
Yeah.
Who was a television producer.
A television producer?
That's why this has a television.
We can't imagine that a television producer would make that sort of money. There would be letters in the Daily Mail in England if a television producer managed to make that money. What did he produce?
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street.
Which was quite a success.
Yeah, yeah. So the profits from Sesame Street went to build this state-of-the-art racing boat.
Nirvana was heading off to the Caribbean, so wouldn't be hanging around for long in Boston.
So you're leaving here what time?
We'll be leaving here promptly at 4 o'clock today.
4 o'clock in the afternoon?
Correct.
So we're not going to spend the night in Boston having a tour of all the Irish bars by the sound of it?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. So, all right, 4 o'clock. That gives us about 5 hours in Boston to see everything and do everything. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Now, when they say it's comfortable down here, you know, it's not most people's definition of comfort. Brief appearance by the director there. If Jamiroquai had a boat, this is what it'd be like.
Boston greeted the golden dawn of the American Revolution by dumping her British taxed tea into the harbour.
Boston Tea Party happened just over there, behind me. And obviously this is the point where Dara becomes extremely Irish. And I, for the purposes of this particular visit, will become very Welsh. Because I have to say that
There is no point in standing up, particularly for Great Britain, in this particular stretch of water. This is where we celebrate American liberty.
My own private history, I spent some time here. I'm hoping to sneak away and just have a look at some of the old homes. Oh, it's going back in Boston, out of Puritan New England and into proper Irish Catholic Boston.
In the centre of Boston Common is a statue called America, a memorial to those who fought in the Civil War. It seemed a good place to review the task ahead.
Their letter says quite emphatically, the choice of vessel is up to you. However, this is a very important event for the city of New York and the American people, and all craft will be reviewed on the day.
Yeah, well, like out of 5? Well,
we don't know how many are turning up. What if the flotilla is huge? Then we want to make some impact.
If we're reviewed really harshly by, you know, the New York Times, apparently the show shuts down in a day. That's Frank Rich in the New York Times.
They're very well.
Boom, shuts the show.
Just New York people make instant decisions.
Yeah.
Your boat sucks. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
What I'm baffled about is why something sucking should be a bad thing. Surely something sucking is a very good thing. Someone says you suck, I'd say thank you, you know, or that sucks, thank you very much. What's wrong with the Americans? They think sucking is a bad thing. Hey, you suck. I do. I've always left my curtains open again. But no, don't you think? Sucking's got to be a good thing.
Okay, all right, but that's probably not what they mean when they say that to us.
Why are you being drawn into this?
Yeah, I'm on his side.
Yes.
Why are you being drawn in?
It's been suggested that we go and bone up on liberty.
Ooh, or at least one of us does.
Liberty.
You're very good for this.
Fraternity, equality.
Yeah, I do equality. I'm all about equality.
You're going to do equality. You're going to do fraternity. You're going to a pub.
Actually, I'm going to go to a pub and try and see if I can nail the Boston accent.
Accents and dialogues, nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and do liberty.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Thanks.
Good man. Shall we walk out?
Shall we walk out a shot? Yeah.
Yeah, with that. So while the others wandered downtown, I hopped in a cab west to revisit some old haunts that I was first in as a 20-year-old. 20 years old, by the way, note that. The legal drinking age in Boston is 21. I didn't see that much of Boston, really. I mean, because I was working like 13-hour shifts in the airport, and I'm not going to bring it there. And then there was the place where we sat around all day, just a lot of us Irish people drinking illegally, which was our flat. I can bring it there.
You see, freedom is everywhere in Boston. Freedom here for these people here. Freedom for these people here. Freedom and, well, perhaps not so much freedom for those people there.
But Boston, for me, was a perfect place to start learning a real classic American accent with Professor Connolly.
Most American accents have the rhotic R. We linguists can say that sort of thing to each other.
Yeah.
But actually, in Boston, they don't. So the word car, which we say, you know, like is car with quite a long.
There are two different pronunciations there, but they're both non-rhotic.
Go on then.
So you can say car, which is, or you can say car.
Car.
Yeah, and that's when people are trying to imitate a Boston accent. They'll say things like park your car in the Harvard yard. Very few people actually say that.
Great. Park your car in the Harvard yard.
Yeah, you've got the idea.
Oh, how was that? Okay, 6
It was
out of
pretty
10.
good, yeah.
No, it was terrible. After the revolution, Boston continued to bang a drum for liberty. In the 1780s, Massachusetts became the first state to abolish slavery. I'm meeting Beverly Morgan Welch at the African Meeting House, built in 1806, and one of the first black churches in America.
In this building, this very building we're standing in, there were important speeches made, and people got up and made testament and pushed forward for the abolition of slavery.
Absolutely. This is the really nexus of the abolitionist movement. And black people are not people who are as shy and as timid and as shackled, if you will, as the history presents itself. And they are talking in their meeting, and they are determining that if this country says it wants to be independent, and it says it wants to be a democracy.
And a republic and a voice for all people.
Then let's make it so.
So here on Beacon Hill, this became a sort of a beacon for liberty in America.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, I've arrived in the neighbourhood of Brighton.
Oh my God, it's not changed. You know, you really think they'd have painted it in the last 20 years or so? There were 8 of us in 4 rooms. Not a 4-bedroom, 4-room flat, right? Sometimes 9, I was 10 towards the end, and I was 17 on the night that U2 played. And we slept on mattresses that we found dumped on the street. So we arrived up here. At one stage, my mattress was in heavy rotation. And I remember going in to change, and there was a guy lying there, and he rolled over, and around him was his shape in sweat. Because I've always wanted one of these. This is like the only way I'm ever going to get one of these.
Sorry, here. Hiya. Whoa. Sorry. I thought you were going without me.
Yeah, we're gonna. Good to go. We are good to go.
Good. Sorry to keep
Glad
you.
you finally made it.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't say 4 o'clock, did we? Sorry about that.
That's, well, you know.
I got stuck in a Boston pub, you know what it is.
That was
Sorry, Chris, to interrupt. Can we get Dara up here? Because it's so nice to be out here, you know, rapping with the guys, and it's a nice view in Boston.
He's probably on his...
I bet he's probably in Charlie's cabin, isn't he? On the internet.
He might be in the bath.
Playing Angry Birds, that's what he is.
What I'm not seeing is what boat we're on. I am not seeing Nirvana, which, as I recall, was really big. I presume we're in the same boat.
Dara?
We must be the first people here. That is a suspiciously ugly boat for a very pretty marina, though. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm very, very well. They do tend to do this to us. I came here expecting some really big luxury yacht.
You missed your boat.
Oh, really?
You left about half an hour ago. Where are you going?
I'm going to Plymouth.
Well, guess what? I'm going that way.
Can you take me to Plymouth? I would love that. That'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, come on,
Have they generally gone on ahead?
They already left.
There was a time in the show where you could curse, all right? And so it all got tidied up in the BBC.
Oh. To our particular course.
Doug, I love your work, but I just want to interrupt. Good news or bad news?
I'll have the bad news first.
Dara is not actually on board this boat.
This is some sort of punishment, isn't it? Griff is behind this, probably. Because I was all thrilled to be in Boston. Oh, I'm in Boston, where the Irish are. So they left. They left on their fancy, poncy boat.
What's the good news, then? You phoned him and found out that he's on his way in some boat?
The good news is that Dara's not on board the boat.
Well, I'm on a real boat now, lads. Do you know what? This boat rams that boat. Only one boat is left. That's all I'm saying.
It's charming. Let's drink a toast to absent friends, to Dara O'Brien.
Dara O'Brien.
Whoever he is.
So I'm really looking forward to having this time, you know? Just time to find myself. And look, how lovely is this? How inviting is this? Let me just slide into bed. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I may be a little cramped in the morning, but no, this'll do. Nice lads, and nice boat, yeah. I am declaring myself to be content. If they could just knock off the engine noises, then I could get some sleep. Perfect.
So we were all heading to Plymouth, some in more luxury than others.
Plymouth was founded by the Pilgrims who came over on the Mayflower in 1620. So it's known as America's hometown and the birthplace of New England.
Griff and I had arrived before Dara and gone straight to the Plymouth Plantation, a kind of living museum which recreates those early days down to the very last detail.
Rory and I had to fit in with the 1620s, which meant we had to fit in to period clothes. Head of shoehorns was Denise.
We costume about 62 interpreters, and that includes child volunteers and folks that go out to the schools and education programs.
Right, but the majority of them work in the museum, is it?
They do. They all do. Yes.
Do they work on the I'm going to say Mary Rose, but it's not the Mary Rose.
It's the
on the Mayflower.
Too. Absolutely, we costume them as well.
I'd say even the Mayflower didn't have as difficult a disembarkation as this. Look at up the rusty ladder onto the falling apart. Where are they now? Kidding me. Dara, hope you had a lovely night. We're at the Plymouth Plantation. See you there.
Okay, Rory, so are you ready to be a 17th century pilgrim?
Now, are you wearing the actual costume that I'll be wearing?
I am not, however. Okay. I'm in the modern
what
dress.
A shame, 'cause I think it's a rather nice look.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. We'd like to start with you putting on a shirt, a 17th century linen shirt.
Okay, can I take this off?
Yeah. Yes, that would be great.
Yeah, you
say
want to
that. Get it right?
Now, enactors, or what are they called? They're not called enactors. They're called interpreters. But are they strictly forbidden to wear watches?
Do you need any help with those, or is that?
That's very kind of you. I'll manage. Thank
Working
you.
out okay.
I've only just met you.
All right.
And they have to learn to speak in the way that somebody of that era would have spoken.
They do. We have several different dialects, depending on what area in England they were from.
I like it.
17th century clothing is pretty tight-fitting and tailored.
I assume that.
And I'm going to give it a little tug back here, so there you go. You get a little more.
That's lovely.
You're a natural.
Why?
Because it looks just terrific on you.
You know how to flatter a man.
Well, it's true.
Well, as instructed, I've come to the Plymouth Plantation, which is a recreation of what the Pilgrims would have found here in 1627. I presume there's a Pilgrim part of it. I'm very definitely in the Native American part of it.
It's actually what we would call a mashoon, or mashoonash.
Right.
Mashoon just means boat in our language, but traditionally, you could have seen boats much larger than this one. In the time period, they do talk about boats that were easily 60 feet long, that would have been wide enough to hold 2 rows of 20 people.
But that's one tree, presumably?
Yes.
Yeah. Which Native American tribe is this?
We're Wampanoag. Wampanoag people have been living in this area for about 20,000 years.
And were Wampanoag the tribe who had that first interaction with the Pilgrims?
Yes.
You were the first to attend that very first Thanksgiving, am I
yes.
right? It was like 80 Wampanoag sat down.
It was about 90 men.
Sat down with the first Thanksgiving. Importantly, so it's one tree. And so do you carve it out and then charcoal the middle of it, or?
Actually, it's all done with burning. And traditionally, you would see the fire the full length of the log burning around the clock 24 hours a day.
Okay, so why do this rather than just chiseling it out?
Well, the burning process not just hollows it, but it actually hardens the wood.
Yeah.
As well as it smoothens it and it waterproofs it. That's why you want to work with a very green tree.
Right, because there's sap in the tree?
Exactly, and all that sap will get pushed right to the outside, so all the pores will get sealed full of sap.
So how long would it have taken to make, like, one this size?
Well, for one this size, if we were burning 24 hours a day, have it done in about a week.
I couldn't get a ride in one of these, could I? Is there anything I could take it to?
Maybe later on.
Really? What's that?
We're actually going to be going to a Clambake later.
Nice. I've heard the word Clambake a lot. I just
is that also a native thing?
It is. It's more of like a cooking with food, but with seaweed.
Yeah.
Kind of like a form of steaming it almost, but it tastes really, really good.
Griff. Griff! Very dashing. Very, very dashing, my friend.
Well, Brother McGrath.
Yeah, God be praised. Yeah, that's very good. Quite cavalier.
You've got a silly hat.
Yeah, but this is for you, Griff. I mean, I've seen you at the golf club on Tuesday nights, and that's just very typical. That's what you say. This is perhaps slightly sort of Guy Fawkesian about you. Good. Interestingly enough, is that a goatee beard you've got?
No.
You sure?
No.
Because I've read some of the... There's an old law of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that says you cannot have a beard like that without a licence.
We don't have a licence to speak the American Mummerset dialect of the 1600s either, so we're forbidden to interact with the public. Nonetheless, we're ordered to stay in character at all times.
Good morrow.
Morrow. My name is Griffith, and this is Mr. Rory McGrath.
Your servant.
My servant? You don't look like my servant, but indeed, I appreciate the gesture, good sir. Fit these men up.
Our duties were with the head of the garrison, Scott.
I shall say, advance your pike to the first. Come on now, put that right hand up where it's going to guard your face. Put your left hand down to guard whatever you will. And to the second, to the third.
Beautiful. How do you get on, Griff?
Get it inside your foot.
I'd like to do that again, sir, if I may.
You'll be doing it again till it gets right. I shall have you first to port your pikes as such. Pikemen, port your pike upon the command. Now, if you were to advance in that position, will they stand there or will they scurry? Pikemen, prepare to march, and march. Stand and stand. That's it. Lay on. Recover. Lay on again. Recover.
Hang on. Where did that come from?
I just got carried away there, sir. Forgive me, sir, if you're...
Your zeal is appreciated. Advance your pike.
What's that again?
Advance the pike.
Now he's stabbed himself in the foot.
Remember which is the right foot.
May I talk to your man? How did he make the crossing? Is my first question.
Wow. I wasn't carrying a pike.
Yeah, true. Look, this village is short of rations, but seemingly you've done okay.
Sarah, who be you?
Who's got the tallest pike?
Have we met before?
We have never met before.
Who is this man who talks in a strange tongue with peculiar words of the devil?
I'm sure I've seen you in a sketch by Benny Hill. Could you just do this?
Does he in his sketch of some kind?
I'm sure I've bought a small version of you in a gift shop in Swansea. It is. You look like a tiny doll representing the best of Wales. May I say, as a visitor, if I was a Native American, I go through the middle. I go straight through the middle. I go under your pikes.
You said it there. We'll give him typhoid on the way through, though.
We have a request of thee.
Yes?
Could you escort us from this place?
I could.
To a place of lunch.
Yeah, I could. I know a place where victuals will victuals do? Victuals will be served soon.
Just take us as far as the gate would be fine.
They have a charge? No.
Take us as far as the gate, and then from there on, perhaps it would be possible for us to revert to the characters as you formerly knew us.
Could we possibly leave the pike? Because my victuals joint has a no pike thing.
Back in the slightly less authentic real world, we go to meet a rock.
I find something quite sweet about this. In the kind of every country has their creation myth.
Yeah.
But they can actually place it here.
It's not actually the rock they stepped on, is it?
Is it not?
No, there are lots of candidates for that actual rock. It was just chosen as a rock sometime in the 18th century.
The thing about the Plymouth Rock, it hasn't got greetings from Plymouth written all the way through it, which has rather disappointed me.
Here we sit, we're looking at it. Where do we stand on it? Do we think that it helps us in any way? Does it say anything about egalite?
No, well, it's a rock. I don't think. No, the Thanksgiving dinner may perhaps be a good sign of
No,
egalite.
I think that's
Fraternity.
I think that's fraternity.
Yeah.
I think the Native Americans and the settlers coming together to give thanks for.
Right. Liberty? No, it has nothing to do with liberty either. It's just a place where people put a foot on ground.
Well, there was a liberty because the people who came over, they were suffering persecution, weren't they?
Yeah.
It symbolises what the Statue of Liberty also symbolises, is bring me your poor, your huddled masses, bring me the persecuted people of the world, bring them to this country and settle them down and get them to work in a fast food outlet.
How appropriate that they should first set foot on a rock with 1620 engraved in the side of it.
It's handy, isn't
I bet they thought, that's useful.
That's a sign.
And actually, they wouldn't have seen it because it's engraved on the
Yeah,
side.
I was going to say, why isn't
Let's go and
the
look
other
at
way
the
around?
other great symbol, the Mayflower.
The Mayflower.
Couldn't be a more ideal boat than the Mayflower, really.
Well, it ticks all the boxes in many ways.
Visitors, British visitors.
Yeah.
First stepping in.
I mean, there'd be tears, there'd be weeping and see the Mayflower. And Mayflower for the Statue of Liberty.
This one.
Two giants collide.
This one is seaworthy. It made its way here in 1957 or something like that. So it's a replica. It's not the real thing. And
No, of course not. Yeah.
And it's obviously being a replica.
And it was built in Devon, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah,
so in every way.
Wow, it's perfect.
If we could get that boat down to New York, you know, it didn't come from Plymouth anyway. It came from Harwich.
But I thought they came from Plymouth, not that it came from Plymouth.
They came from Harwich. They're on the Mayflower originally, and then they went to Plymouth. Plymouth was just the last place they left. This place should be called Harwich. It should be called the Harwich Rock.
Yeah, but we're in the middle of New England. There's bound to be a Harwich 2 miles down there.
And another one, 2 miles down there as well.
This boat would be the perfect vessel to take to New York. So we send Rory on a charm offensive to see if we can get Peter, the man in charge of Mayflower 2, to let us have it.
Now that, to me, looks like a magnificent historic boat. I mean, how authentic is the replica?
Well, it's as authentic as we can know. It was very thoroughly researched back in the 50s by a man named William Baker. He spent, I think, 6 years trying to decide what the Mayflower 2 would have looked like.
Well, the question I'm leading up to asking, I suppose, is that we are here to take part in a flotilla which to commemorate the 125th anniversary of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, nice.
And they've asked us to choose a boat which has a distinct connection to America and Britain and something historical and imposing looking. And I just think that ship is just the perfect candidate for it.
In more than one way, that is the perfect candidate. Mayflower was built as a gesture of thanks from the people of England to the people of the United States following World War II.
Right.
And one of the builders, one of the founders of that project, Warwick Charlton, was thinking on the terms of the Statue of Liberty, the way that the French gave the Statue of Liberty to the United States. It would be a terrific, symbolic, and actual voyage.
A perfect choice.
However,
yes,
it's a very expensive undertaking, requiring us to train a crew, and we don't have an engine on Mayflower, so we have to hire a tugboat to get us out of this ferry.
We've got 4 days.
Well, we need a few more than that.
But we've got 3 able crew. So I'll tell you what, Peter. I don't know if this will change your mind at all, but you know, we want to take your ship to New York. What do you reckon?
I think you need a little wad of money a little bit bigger than that.
Okay.
Let's go and see if he's got it. Now, that would really be a surprise if Rory says, I've got it.
Down at Plymouth Beach, far out on a spit of land, the Native Americans had organised a clambake. All we had to do was get there, 1.5 miles by dugout canoe. It's a long way in a primitive craft, and even further with primitive rowers.
Are we getting one of them, or do we?
We got 2 here in each boat, so we've got plenty.
So if we need them, we'll use them. Fine.
We won't need them. I'm a good driver.
Excellent. I'm not an excellent co-pilot, though.
That's why I'm going to be in the back, you're going to be in the front.
Fine.
Hey!
Okay.
Oh, let's get out on the surf.
Come on. Come on. Yeah,
Which
there we go.
side are you canoeing? That one there.
There we go.
Hey.
Hey. Hey, okay. Whoa, this. Oh! Oh, ho, ho!
That is not funny. This is a very unstable boat. I think an hour's going to be optimistic. How many strokes each side would you say?
Whatever you think is best.
Okay. This feels very different from canoes I've been in, but you know, touch wood.
That's me. That's all right.
How far do they want us to go? Can we not just go back in now? We've demonstrated the practicality of sailing these canoes, and I get the feeling that we should head right for the shore now and get out of it.
I think we're going to the Clambake, which is farther up.
How far up is that?
Past that White House. We saw a shark out here during the summer.
A shark?
Black shark. About a 10-footer.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he here now, do you think?
No.
Where did you take on the water that you couldn't
row?
Look out there, you don't want to be hitting that one. There's great whites in these waters too during the summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Despite my best efforts, this boat is too light.
It's a great distance for us to travel as novices. What's the distance we're going now?
What's the distance? About a mile and a half.
Okay, mile and a half.
Close to 2 miles.
Yeah, not too far to go now.
This is a weird feeling. It's like being in a pair of jeans that's about 5 sizes too small for you, you know? You can't really move. But luckily, Brian, are you still there?
Paddling on, paddling on.
All right, excellent. Ooh.
Okay, good. All right. Well,
whoa.
We deserve this Clambake.
Man, do we ever.
I couldn't believe it when they said, I said, where are we going?
Just
and
like
they said, the little White House over there. The little White House is all the way back there.
Okay, I had to tell you that. If I told you down here, you want to turn around.
Then we kiss the land we've landed on.
What, is this like our arrival in Plymouth?
Just because you kiss it don't mean you own it.
Hey, great work. That's really good fun.
I enjoyed that.
Well done.
So other than get us wet, tired and grumpy, we got a chance to bond with our new native friends.
Which was just as well because they and their families were about to feed us.
Now, Brian.
Yes.
Where's the seafood?
The seafood? Well, you got to go get it. You didn't come here for no reason. We need help too, so you got to go dig for some
Somebody
clams.
collected all these rocks, they collected all this wood, they collected all this
Now you want me to get you food on top of that?
Okay, sir.
I did all this. Next thing you know, you want me to build you a house?
Okay, point me at a lobster.
At a lobster. Well, in that gully, I'm sure we can find some.
Okay. And have you ever had, what are they called, or which are barnacles, which the Spanish eat? Plaza, yeah. Placebo, something. Placebo. Wait a minute. What is this?
Oh, lobster.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
Lobster just happened to be having a wander around.
Oh my God.
It's even got elastic bands on its claws.
Oh, I can't wait for them.
Careful.
One of the fishermen told us that there are 8 million lobster pots on the New England coast, which means there's lots of lobsters, which means this isn't that surprising. Because they get trapped in here when it moves out, and oh, he's all spindly and he's all grabby. All right, I'm going to delicately transport him back.
Whoa! Oh, watch out. That'll take your head off.
Don't get too attached to that lobster, Griff. Don't start, bonding with it because we're going to stick it on the fire.
Never name your food.
I spent most of the night in something called the Thirsty Duck, I think it was called.
Okay, who's going to walk over him first?
Come on.
Come on, Rory, let's go.
You can do it.
You can do it. We believe that you can.
Glowing. With the stones now hot enough, we spread them out and cover them in wet seaweed.
Oh, that's harder than it looks, isn't it? Oh.
It is hot, isn't it?
Good crackling noise there, guys. Good.
Oh, I see you stick them on the mat and just...
Delicately hand-woven rush matting goes straight on the fire now to form a protective layer so that the lobsters and clams can be smoked and steamed and baked.
Excellent. Okay. Lovely stuff.
You can bring it right over there with you.
We're going to wait on those for a minute.
Okay, cool.
Brian,
okay.
Do you have a wine list?
Which mat?
A wine list, we've got a good Merlot that's available.
There.
Oh, you don't want to use
But you got to paddle back and go get it. We left it over there, so no wine.
Okay. Put that one on, and then more.
Perfect.
Seaweed?
More seaweed? More seaweed. We're going to cover this as much as you can get on it, guys.
Okay.
Well, the sun's going down over there after a beautiful day, and we're just waiting for our lobsters and our clams to broil up and be perhaps, apparently, the most delicious that you could ever eat them. Difficult to know whether things are going well. I suppose you could say that they are, in some ways. In other ways, not so well. We haven't really got close to the right boat for our trip. Those little canoes we were in, inherently unstable. We couldn't do 8 knots in them, and it's 3.5 miles, and just 1.5 miles nearly killed us. We've been in Nirvana, but Nirvana's sailing away down south and can't help us. We've been in various antique and beautiful boats, but we don't know whether they represent for us any real contribution to the idea either of liberty or being the 3 men in a boat. I think we still have some difficult choices ahead of us. But in the meantime, I suppose we'll just have to sit on the beach and eat lobster. It's tough.
Keep going. Get that mat off. You got to get that mat off.
Wow.
Look at that.
Look at this.
That's by cut hog. Oh, wow, good. Wow.
They're not right red through.
Now that's right red.
Right.
We'll pick the ones that are need a little bit of love on.
Okay. Did you use this as a stone to open the lobster? You've gone native.
No, we have utensils too. I can get you a fork or a bowl.
Oh no, he's all about this.
Unbelievable.
He's going to run wild into the
smoke and the seaweed.
Yes.
Flavors taste like drinking Lefroy whiskey.
You could actually
really sort of deep seaweedy, iodine-y taste. It's
take
beautiful.
your claw.
Okay.
But we can, you know, I mean, they're fresh through.
Oh, wow. God. The water coming through first, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you're going to hit it.
Okay. Is there a sort of toast or cheers or something you can say in your language?
Yeah.
Oh. And how do you translate that?
It means all right.
All right.
We all say, and we also say,
And how would you say thank you?
Katapata.
Katapatash.
Katapatash.
Well, on behalf of the 3 men, Katapatash. In the next 3 men...
Time is running out to find a boat for that flotilla.
He's got to do 8 knots, and he's got to have a hooter.
The task proves to be more difficult than we thought.
It's useless, there's nothing here. We're too late, we've left it too late.
But on the way into New York, Dara lives his American dream.
Yes!
Griff finds boating nirvana.
To be representing British craftsmanship.
Exactly. The American flag, what better way to sail into the Hudson?
And Rory, well, he seems happy too.
And that's all tomorrow night here on BBC Two at the later time of 9:30.
Alexander Armstrong's in charge next tonight for a festive edition of I Got News for You. And then Stephen Fry steps well out of his comfort zone as Joe Brand coaxes him into trying some new experiences, including having his ears pierced. That's at 10:30.